Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Thanks very much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Sports Call. And by the way, Ken Rice, nice to have you back from vacation. And we will continue the conversation right here, talking sports with you until 11 o'clock at 412-575-2600. That's the number of the Bordas and Bordas hotline. And you can also tweet us tonight at KDPomp, at Gene Collier. Lots to get into. The Penguins did not play. Looks like Derek Brassard may not play again until the playoffs. But as they watched tonight, they saw some interesting developments. Like number one, Columbus, a team they square off with on Thursday night at the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, was down 4-1 early to the Detroit Red Wings at home. But then they rallied. 3 goals in the third, including the tying goal by Artemi Panarin. Then they go to overtime, and they get a fourth in a row by Pierre-Luc Dubois. And they beat Detroit 5-4, 2 big points. That means, Gene Collier of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, outstanding columnist, that right now it's Columbus 96, Pittsburgh 96. The Devils won tonight. They beat the Rangers, so they jump over the Flyers 95. The Flyers lost a critical game to the Islanders there at 94. And the Panthers beat Nashville there at 90 with 2 games in hand. It's going to go right down to the wire.
Yeah, it is. The Flyers were down 4-1 to the Islanders. And after playing so well against Boston recently, and then it came out in the first 2 periods, really looked terrible. Then did manage to tie that game, I believe, Bob, and lost.
Giroux scored, and then they gave it right back up with Matt Barzal.
Right. So the Flyers have 2 games left. Columbus and the Rangers. Penguins with 2 games left. I'm sorry, the Flyers have Carolina and the Rangers. Penguins have Columbus and Ottawa here on Friday night.
Right.
So, yeah, really, the only thing that's settled in that division is that Washington has won it.
Washington has won it, and we'll see what happens after that. The Penguins, if they lose against Columbus, could end up anywhere from 3rd to 4th. If they win, they'll have home ice, and I think that's very important as they move into this postseason. We'll see how it goes, but it's going to go right down the wire. Do you think it's good for the Penguins to play important games heading into the playoffs as opposed to what it was maybe the last couple of years?
I think it is this year because they haven't played so well on the road. I mean, I think it's good. It'd be good for them to have a good performance at Columbus Thursday, just because, as I said, that there's a big difference between the road Penguins and the home Penguins. And I usually argue that home ice advantage isn't important in the postseason, but I think to this particular Penguins team it is for whatever reason. It
is. We'll see. Going to be interesting to see what happens here on Thursday night in Columbus. It should have a playoff atmosphere, to be sure. The Pirates are off today. Jordy Mercer has an injury, although x-rays were negative on a pinky finger. He slid awkwardly in the first on a pickoff attempt. Didn't look good, but he's day-to-day, so that's good. They'll take on Minnesota tomorrow. Stephen Brault will get the start for the injured Joe Musgrove, but they're 4-0. And Gregory Polanco, Gene, has been terrific. 6 RBIs, 1 minimum in each of the first 4 games. How important is this for the Pirates in terms of him being there because he's been injured so much?
Yeah, no, he's a huge key to what the Pirates can do, particularly offensively. And you can see if he's going to be productive like he was in these first 4 games, and really like he was in a series last July against Montreal. They're a much different team when he's producing. And now the other factor along those same lines is Starling Marte, who to me continue to look terrible at the plate. For whatever reason there, and you have to wait and see how Colin Moran is going to play. He has virtually no major league experience, and see what Corey Dickerson does. Those are all the keys, I think, to the offense.
Yeah. Plus the starting pitching being consistently reliable. We'll see. Again, they're very young and inexperienced largely, with the exception of maybe Nova, but everybody else is a young pitcher still developing. So we'll talk about that as we go along. The Masters is coming up, and this is Tuesday. Tomorrow, Gene, you'll be here, right?
Yes, I
So
will.
We'll make our Masters predictions tomorrow. But today we saw something rare down in Augusta. That is a practice round featuring Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods. And I think, like all of us, when you get older, you get wiser, you get more mellow. And these 2 guys now realize their place in history, and they become more friendly, not unlike what we saw with Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus. It started out a little contentious because it was a battle every week, and then at the end they were the best of friends. It's a good thing to see, I think.
Well, yeah, golf has kind of ethos all its own. It's not, at all like any of the other sports. It has the relationship between the players is different. It's more, I don't know if polite is the right term, or cordial or formal or sportsmanlike. It's all of those things. All of those things to me make it really boring. But I know that you like it, Bob. So we'll talk about it some more tomorrow night, and then we'll forget about it for about a year.
No, we won't.
No, what we have to talk about the U.S. Open.
We have a lot of things to talk about every week. There's a great.
Maybe I'll be off those nights, but okay.
It's a great sport, Gene. I'm going to get that, and you're going to play
no,
at some point. Yes, you are. 412-575-2600. That is the number to call. Give us a shout here. Give us a tweet. We'll talk about it when we come back. You're watching the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on Pittsburgh CW. The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, putting new roofs on Pittsburgh homes for over 25 years. Call Ireland Contracting at 1-800-NEW-ROOF.